It was cool inside the building, unlike the outside world. I could still hear the crowd, but at a low volume. It was loud enough to hear their cheers. The staff in the building must have known who we were. They tried to concentrate on their work as if they didn't see us. Hello, sir. How may I help you today? I'm Keiichi. I'm here to request that Satoko be put under protection immediately. Just go get the person in charge here. A representative of Hinamizawa Town Council is here to see him. He is unable to see you at this time. I will take a message for him. Hello, I'm a lawyer from the Sonozaki Law Consultancy Office. For the purpose of its future use, I will be recording our conversation from this point forward. We would like to be treated responsibly by the Child Consultation Center. I will try and see if he's available. Please wait for a moment. Ariabakun, it's been a while. Representative Sonozaki, how have you been? I'm here today as a member of the Hinamizawa Town Council. May I see the head of the office, please? Of course. Hey, you take them to the reception area inside the boss's room and serve them to tea. I guess the power of the representative can really get public officials moving. I heard that there are both prefectural and municipal representatives in the Sonozaki family. We have the power of both of them today. And that means we have nothing to fear. We were inside his office, but the head of the office wasn't to be found. I'm sure he's somewhere in this building. All the exits are blocked. There's no way he could escape from us. He better not be thinking that he can hide from us all day. The head of the office, in fact, was peeping out through the blinds of the meeting room on the second floor. He was shaking in fear. He's like, fuck, I didn't know that. Like, when he was warned that, you know, Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with when they get together. Now he's learning the hard way. Why are they inside the building? What are the police doing? Well, actually, both the prefectural and municipal Sonozaki representatives are here. They have a lawyer with them too. They're asking for an answer, but only management has the authority to respond. Okay, I've got it. It's Saturday. It's nearly free, right? I'll just stay here until then. Have them leave after we close up. Meanwhile, I'll talk with the municipal manager about what to do next. I thought he told you to concede. He said something about a town council. I was expecting a bunch of neighboring old men. Never thought I'd see representatives, lawyers, and yakuza. Who would have thought that there would be 200 people out there? Well, that's Hinamizawa. Anyway, the office is closing in 10 minutes. I'm sure they'll friend me if I meet with them. But I'm not going to concede. That's my duty as a civil servant. I've been working for the government for 40 years, and I'm not ashamed to boast about that. I'll never compromise just because some gangster threatens me. You know, he says 40 years. All this time I thought like he was a guy in his 20s or so I've given him kind of a young-ish voice. Now I'm thinking, no, give him a bit of a middle-aged, well, more than middle-aged voice. The next moment, the phone in the conference room rang loudly. The head of the office nearly jumped out of his skin. Scared even of the phone, he told the manager to tell whoever it was that he wasn't there. Hello, this is Ariyama. Oh, thank you, I'll let him know. Sir, it's the municipal calling. We've been a bit... Hello, I'm in deep trouble. There are about 200 people surrounding the consultation center right now. They even have representatives on their side. What should I do? I did tell you this would happen. But it's your job as the municipal government to control troubles with the town councils. Do something about this. Your sworn duty to take care of this. That's not our job. Our job is to support the growth of the local communities of the region, and I don't care. Can't you do something about this? At this point, you have no choice but to accept their request. I think you should stop being so stubborn about policy. The government is there for its citizens. Isn't that right? Can you just peacefully accept their people? You're an official too, aren't you? How dare you take their side of the town council? I'm not going to concede. I'm going to follow the regulations. A civil servant's duty is to conduct business impartially. I've never broken that rule in my entire career. I passed the administrator's exam because I always followed the rules. Well, it's your decision. We'll do our best to help, but I told you, didn't I? I know I did. I know I told you not to get them upset. Fine, and I won't ask for your help anymore. I'm hanging up the phone. Blink. Sir, even if you manage to get away from them today, they'll come back again on Monday. What are you going to do then? I'm sure that the mayor knows about this by now. This will definitely come up at the weekly meeting. I haven't done anything that would upset the mayor. No matter what he says to me, that's what I'll tell him. Yeah! My phone rang once again. Also, once again, the head of the office trembled in fear. The manager had to reluctantly pick up the phone. Yes, can you transfer? Yes, this is the right office. One moment, please. Sir, you have to call. I have a call from City Hall. City Hall? Not the medical offices. Who is it now? It's the mayor. Yes, that's right. They're members of the town council in Hinamizawa. Yes, I understand. Please, listen to what they have to say. Now, that's not true. It's important to be impartial and unbiased, but you must act accordingly to the occasion. Yes, please do so. After you're done, please come to the mayor's office and give me your report. I expect you by 6 p.m. Thank you very much. The man spoke with a gentle demeanor, in a tone that didn't allow objection. Then the elderly man in a double suit set the receiver down. Well, if I'd known that, I would have given him a different voice. Thank you for that. Wait, what? Oryou was sitting on the couch in the reception office. Wait, what? Akane was there with her too. Not a problem. It's been a while since you visited City Hall. I was surprised to see you here today. I'm sorry for the surprise. If I'm going to ask someone a favor, I want to see them in person. Thank you, really. It's no problem at all. I'm sorry that our staff were so impolite. I should have taught them better. Maintaining a good relationship between municipal governments and town councils is vital. So, she says, who the hell's speaking? I can't tell because there's no character portraits. Oh, wait, no, so he says. I thought it said so she says, so I was a bit confused. However, the mayor couldn't believe that Empress Sonozaki came all the way to see him just to save one little girl. It's a huge deal when Oryou Sonozaki comes directly to his office. It's also unusual for her to do things indirectly to begin with. Rather than leading the charge herself, she was having Keiichi save Satoko. The mayor understood that she was doing this so Keiichi would get all the credits. Because of that, he was very interested in this young Keiichi. He sounds like quite the young man. I can't believe that he's gone so far just to save his friend from an abusive relative. I know, he's one of a kind. I'm not worried about the future of Hinamizawa as long as someone like him is around. I can die peacefully now. Please, Mother, don't joke around like that. It was worth living this long if I was able to meet someone like him. Take care of that Keiichi boy if something happens again. You've grown so fond of him. Are you still mad at me for not having any boys? So I guess she does like him then. She's like, that boy is just crazy, man. Gotta love him. It was now 3 p.m. and I heard the announcement that the center was closing. The head of the office finally showed up in the room. He seemed like a totally different person. When I first met him, he had a cold attitude and responded to questions with blunt answers. But now he was much nicer and agreed with everything we said, probably holding back tears in his eyes, because he's being forced to play along and play nice, otherwise he's just, I don't know. I guess the power we held must have intimidated him. If I was alone, I would have never gotten him to listen to me. It's thanks to everyone's support that I'm able to talk to him now. I understand. I'm very sorry for all the confusion. We will take action immediately. And please call Hojo-san's house right now. Yes, sir. Satoko, finally! You're finally free! Teppei stopped kicking her as he heard the phone ring. Wow, he could ignore the call, but if it was someone from the Child Consolation Center, they might become suspicious of him. It hurt Satoko enough to leave bruises. He couldn't let them visit. So he had no choice but to deal with them over the phone. That's enough for now. You better remember where you hid the bankbook by the time I come back. All Satoko could do was curl up and cry. Oh, who is it? Good afternoon, this is the Shishibone Child Consolation Center. Again? You guys have nothing better to do? Why don't you stop calling me working on your dollar cases? You're getting paid with the taxes I pay, you know. We're very sorry to interrupt you. One of our social workers will be visiting your home shortly. May I get permission for them to enter the premises, please? No way. We're cleaning the whole house right now. We can't have any visitors today. Come back again some other time. The Constellation Center wouldn't give up. Teppei wanted to hang up the phone, but if he did, he knew that they'd show up for sure. I was told that Satoko-san didn't come to school today. She's home, isn't she? If she's really sick, she should be resting at home, I expect. There's something quite urgent that I need to ask her. What the hell you need her for? I'm her guardian, so I'll answer you instead. Are you refusing to put Satoko-san on the phone? I'm not refusing, I'm just saying that I'll answer your questions in her place. Can you see what I'm saying? What's your name, anyway? I'm asking you one more time. May I speak with Satoko-san, please? Damn it. He'd thought dealing with government officials was a bit like playing whack-a-mole. If you hit them hard enough, they won't show up for a while. But today, whoever was on the phone seemed so provocative and self-assured. Teppei sensed that they'd definitely come to the house if he didn't put Satoko on. If they sounded like that over the phone, if they came to the house, they might be bringing along more than just a couple of people. Full Teppei knew they might even bring a police officer. If they did, he couldn't turn them away at the entrance. He knew too well just how scary police officers could be. Oh, wait a minute, I'll go and wake her up. Give me some time. He covered the phone with his hand and spoke to Satoko downstairs. Oh, Sonozaki, the Child Consolation Center wants to ask you something. Can you come to the phone, please? Even though he had just been beaten her, Teppei was addressing Satoko in a sweet, phony voice. It would disturb people to hear him talk like that. Well, I didn't even try to give him the phoniness in his voice that he's supposedly putting on. Satoko knew that his sweet voice was the scariest tone of voice he had. She couldn't refuse after hearing him talk like that, so she obeyed him and went upstairs. Teppei grabbed Satoko's shoulders with all his might and whispered in her ear. No matter what happens, we're a happy family, right? Don't you dare forget that, alright? Yes. Remember, if you upset me, I'll destroy Satoshi's room. If you behave well, I promise you that I will never enter his room again. Is that a deal? Huh? Huh? He squeezed her shoulders even tighter. Satoko contorted her face in pain. We're making up now, right? Huh? Yes, we're a happy family. Teppei gave the phone to Satoko as soon as she nodded. He stood behind her, continuing to grip her shoulders tight. It was like a raptor gripping its prey with sharp talons. Satoko Hojo-san, this is Hariyama speaking from the Child's Consolation Center. How's everything going so far? Are you having any problems with Teppei-san? The volume on the phone was low enough that Teppei couldn't hear what they were saying. However, he squeezed Satoko's shoulders harder and urged her to say something because her silence could be interpreted as a negative answer. Yes, everything's working out between my uncle and I. Don't have any problems with him. Sure, go ahead. Hello, Satoko, it's me, Keiichi. Are you okay? Yeah, it's safe here. Satoko, we're about to come save you. If you admit that you need help, the Child Consolation Center will put you under the protection immediately. It's not just a center either. The mayor of Shishibone City is supporting us too. Crazy, isn't it? It's all thanks to the Sonozaki family. Mion's grandma is doing all this for you. Satoko always felt bitter towards the Sonozaki family because they were often the ones talking about her behind her back. She hated Oryou most of all. It didn't make sense to her that Oryou would be do anything to help her. I know you went through a lot of hard times after the dam conflict. I didn't notice it, but you were being treated cold for a long time. But I took care of all those people for you. No one will ever treat you badly in Hinamizawa again. I wish I could show you all the people that have gathered around the Child Consultation Center right now. Everyone from Hinamizawa is here to save you. They're even skipping the preparations for tomorrow's festival. Huh? Oh, sure. I have a message from the Sonozaki family. Mion's grandma said to say hello to you. She's sorry about how she treated you. She wants you to come visit her house sometime. You hear that? She's on your side now. She went to see the mayor in person just for you. But you know, the same goes for us too. We've been coming to the Child Consolation Center every day since you were taken away. Everyone's been supporting us, and all for your sake. Now we have the whole village of Hinamizawa on our side. Hang on, Rika-chan wants to talk to you.
Satoko, it's Rika. Rika. Keiichi brought it all to an end for you. The people in Hinamizawa aren't going to be mean to you anymore. So no one will ignore you when we go shopping together. They won't treat you differently from me anymore. No one will treat you coldly anymore.
Satoko wasn't sure she would feel happy or sad that Rika noticed how badly the villagers were treating her. All she could do was let out a bitter laugh.
I can't believe that. Indeed, I can't believe it either. Rika.
Satoko was surprised. She was surprised to hear Rika's voice sound so mature over the phone. She almost sounded like a different person.
When you were taken away by your uncle, I thought it was an unchangeable event. I gave up, thinking that there was nothing but a dead end ahead of us. I'm sure you felt that way too. But I found out that there's no such thing as fate. There's no dead end ahead of us. Keiichi broke that wall down and smashed it into a million pieces. Satoko, don't give in to misfortune anymore. We're almost there. All you need to do is to nod your head. But I have to get stronger. That's because of how much you suffered. You're trying to overcome that. You felt guilty towards Satoshi because you hid behind his back when you were being abused by your aunt. I know that you're trying to take Teppei's abuse as a form of self-punishment. I understand you're trying to get stronger as an apology towards your brother. I can respect that courage, and it shows how much you've grown up. Satoshi would be proud of you if he was here right now. He would pat your head. He would pat it so gently. Did you really believe what I just said? That's not good, Satoko. You're nowhere near as strong as Satoshi. Not at all. Rika's words were suddenly toned with malice, penetrating Satoko's heart. She thought she was saved. You think that taking the abuse will make you stronger. But is this really that different from last year? You're just waiting here for Satoshi to come home. You're waiting for him to come home and save you again. You don't even know what kind of strength Satoshi held within him. Satoshi didn't just cry and quake in fear like you're doing. He fought. He fought his horrible aunt. He fought in order to save you. Remember the sight of Satoshi standing up to your aunt, the one you cried in terror from, with his arms spread wide to protect you. So she was just as scared as Satoko was. All she'd ever seen was her brother's back. She had no idea what kind of expression he was wearing on his face. He didn't want to stand in front of his furious aunt, but he had no choice if he wanted to protect his sister. Satoko never once saw how scared he was, and she never once saw how courageous he was in spite of that. Satoshi fought. He didn't just take the violence that was dealt to him. He fought it and struggled against it. I was no different from you once. I stopped fighting because I gave up. I stopped struggling against it. I chose to accept fate and quietly endure my pain. I thought it was a waste of time to seek help. Just like you. I was just waiting for someone to come along who would change my circumstances. But I've decided to fight. That's why I'm on the phone with you now. I'm going to change this fate on my own. I'm going to persuade you to nod your head. Satoko, he's right behind you, isn't he? Yes, he's here. Look at his face now. See how evil and scary he looks. Realize how brave Satoshi was to fight back against that furious face. If you want to give something back to Satoshi, don't just take his abuse without seeking help. You have to do what Satoshi did for you. Can't you recognize that? Satoko slowly looked back at her uncle, though she was afraid to do so. He was wearing an unpleasantly broad grin while gripping her shoulder so tightly. Ultimately, it wasn't even really about dealing with her aunt or uncle. It was about dealing with her fear. Satoshi faced his fear. He could have chosen to run from it, or to sit and take it, but he fought for his little sister instead. He fought that fear and didn't falter. And that's what was Satoko doing. She believed that the violence she was suffering was the punishment she deserved. However, Rika wasn't wrong. Satoko wasn't trying to gain strength at all. She was only shutting herself out until someone came to save her. She wasn't doing anything on her own. She was only waiting for someone else to do something about it. So she faced it. He faced it, this fear. That was his strength. Okay, there's still Rika talking then. Are you scared? Are your teeth chattering? Are you feeling shivers running down your spine? That's exactly how Satoshi felt when he tried to protect you. You have to understand that. Do you know what Satoshi wanted from you? Do you know what he was really trying to show you? If you don't know, Satoshi will never come back to you.
What's the deal? What's taking so long?
Satoko was consumed by fear. Her teeth were chattering and she felt shivers running down her spine. And that was what Satoshi felt every time she cried. Show me your strength, Satoko. Show Satoshi how much you've grown up over the past year. Show Satoshi that you've grown as brave as he is. Rika, but I... Even if she asked for help that very minute, Teppei wasn't just going to disappear. When she asked for help, she'd need to survive until someone physically came to her house to rescue her. Satoko ached all over her body. Her wounds were pulsing along with her heartbeats, and she could taste the blood in her mouth. It wasn't as easy as Rika made it sound. One nod wasn't going to solve everything at once. And you know, if she nods and doesn't say yes to the help, but just nods, that accomplishes nothing, because they can't see her there. But I get what the general idea. I just find it a bit weirdly worded. They had no idea how hard it was for her to nod. What did her Nini look like when he protected her? She couldn't remember his face, but she remembered the strength in his words. And she even may have heard a little bit of fear in his voice. But even so, he still fought. He faced his fears and fought for her sake. Satoko was scared, just like Rika said. Her teeth were chattering and she felt shivers running down her spine. But she had to face him. She had to challenge him, to fight him, and to break the cycle. Satoko, I'm going to give the phone to an employee of the consultation center. Tell him with your own words. Yes. Show me that courage. Hello again, it's Ariyama from the Child Consultation Center. Please allow me to ask you one more time. Are there any problems between you and your uncle? Satoko looked at Teppei again as she listened to the question. Looked straight into the face of terror. All she ever did was hide behind Satoshi's back. Show me that courage. It wasn't only Rika, her Nini was watching her too. Excuse me? Could you please repeat that? Help me! The moment the words left her mouth, Teppei clicked his knees up beside her head with every bit of strength he had in him. Satoko rolled down the hallway, still clutching the telephone receiver.
Oh, Snooky, you finally betrayed me, huh?
I hate you! Get out of my house! This house belongs to my Nini and me. This house belongs to my family. I hate you! Get out of here!
You little bitch!
Satoko wasn't going to just take a beating any longer. Instead, she spread her arms wide and jumped onto her uncle. Of course, that wasn't going to hurt Teppei at all. Satoko was as weak as a newborn puppy to him. That was, however, the best act she had at her disposal. Satoko was fighting for the first time in her life. She had decided to stop waiting for somebody to save her. In the end, Satoko was the only one who could save herself. Enduring her uncle's violence had never meant anything at all. She had thought she learned something from her Nini, but she had been mistaken this whole time.
What's with that look in your eyes, huh? I'm gonna push your front teeth in.
But just as Teppei raised his fist, someone loudly hammered on the front door. I guess they were outside the whole time. I mean, it makes sense. They gotta be as thorough as possible with this.
Teppei Hojo, open up, this is the police.
Teppei couldn't help but jump in surprise. It had barely been a minute since Satoko asked for help over the phone.
Open up the door, if you don't, we're going to break it down.
How did it turn out? How's Satoko-chan?
Satoko-chan asked for help. The Child Consultation Center is going to take action now.
But she's still in danger. Teppei might kill her for betraying him. We'd heard a violent noise right after she asked for help. In other words, Satoko had been brave enough to do that in front of her uncle. We have to get there right away. Can someone give us a ride? Several villagers who came by car started their engines. The crowd had started to realize what was going on.
Damn it! We're coming as fast as we can, Satoko. Oh, don't worry about that, my son. The police entered the Hojo residence not a moment ago. You wouldn't have had any time to hurt Satoko-chan.
What? But why?
No idea, it's a mystery to me. Anyway, could you break up this crowd already? I believe it now, so excuse me. Have a good year.
Wishi must have contacted someone as soon as he heard Satoko asking for help.
Well, that was a damn quick response.
The police had surrounded Satoko-chan's house ahead of time.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. Because they're keeping an eye on him because the potential for him to be the victim of the Tanagashi, the Oryou-sama curse thing. So they were closely monitoring him after he came back. So they would have been able to respond really quickly there. I get it. They were suspecting him of Rina's murder. It all makes sense now. Wait, who's Rina?
Get in the car, everyone. Let's hurry back to Hinamizawa.
There were several officers scuming the Hojo residence. Satoko was sitting by the porch talking with another officer. She had some painful-looking bruises all over her face.
Satoko-chan, are you okay? Are you? Do I look okay to you?
Coach! She needs treatment right away. Let's take her to the clinic. Can you walk, Satoko-chan? Satoko nodded to the coach and stood up. It looked painful for her, but even so, I felt relief to see her better than I expected. However, the cruel bruises inflicted over her body were all too horrible to look at. I'll never forgive that man for abusing a little girl like her. My body shivered in anger. Satoko.
Did you see what I did, Rika? I can act when it counts. Yes, I saw your courage. You won. You broke the bonds of fate.
Both Rika-chan and Satoko cried and hugged each other. I soon heard an old car coming. I immediately knew who it had to be. It was Oryou-san's police cruiser.
We should have acted more quickly. I'm sorry we went for help.
No, don't be sorry. If not for you, Oryou-san, he would have done even more horrible things, sir. Thank you so very much. I guess you can be a nice person sometimes.
So how is she doing?
Coach is looking after her. She was injured pretty badly.
Oh, Kuma-chan, what happened to Teppei?
We got him. Komiyama-san took him to the station.
So you won't come back to this house ever again? It's not like he's going to get the death penalty or a life sentence. I don't want to think about this, but he might come back someday.
Yeah, well, we won't let him. I'll make sure he can never come back to this village.
Oh my. The successful Sonozaki family is saying such scary things already. You can't threaten him or anything, you know.
I'm not going to threaten him. I'm just going to advise him that he should never come back to Hinamizawa Okuma. Otherwise, something terrible might happen to him. I guess the advice isn't too bad then.
I guess advice isn't too bad then.
So is Satoko-chan free now? Is that really it? Is it over?
I don't know. I think there will be more issues to come. When Teppei loses his parental rights, they'll need to find a new guardian for Satoko. Someone has to take care of her. But there's no need to worry. I'm sure that the Sonozaki family is going to back her up. We'll make sure Satoko's happy.
Yuri took Satoko to the clinic. He says her injuries aren't as bad as they look, though.
Really? That's good to hear.
I wonder if she can leave the clinic by tomorrow, I wonder.
I'm sure those injuries will take more than a day to heal.
That's not what she's talking about, B. Tomorrow's the Minagoroshi festival.
It's been a really hectic week, but if we could all go to the festival together, I think that will be our happy ending.
Right. It'll serve as proof that we got our happy will back with our own hands.
I agree. I'm sure Satoko wants to see Keiichi's auction in action. I almost forgot about that.
Satoko will be coming for sure.
Before I knew it, lots of people from the village had joined us. They were the same people who came to the Shy Constellation Center to warn us. They wanted to know if Satoko was safe. Considering her injuries, safe might not be the right word. However, she is free from the curse of her uncle now. Her emotional scars will slowly heal. We'll be there for her as her friends. No, it wasn't just us anymore. The whole village is going to be there for her. The ghost of the damn conflict won't haunt Satoko any longer. It was a very long week. In this 1 week, we united, we fought, we overcame, and we won. It wasn't an easy victory. However, the price we paid was more than worth it. Tomorrow is the Minagoroshi Festival, the biggest festival in the village. It's a huge event where we worship the guardian of this village, Oryou-sama. Oryou-sama is a god who united two enemy peoples. The curse on the Hoga family has disappeared, and Satoko is truly going to be a part of the village. We'll be playing at the festival together. This is the perfect happy ending. When ordinary days were taken from us, we all felt so powerless. But now we have everything back. What else can you call that but a miracle? No, you can't actually call it that. Miracles can be created when everyone works together. What's impossible to do alone becomes possible when everyone joins forces. With everyone's power, we were able to make impossible things happen. And that's only a natural outcome of everyone doing their best together, so it's not a miracle. In other words, it was inevitable. The old legends in this village tell us that Oryou-sama made it possible for humans and demons to live together. I'm not sure what that story really means, but I'm sure that Oryou-sama made something impossible happen. We can be proud of what we did. I'm sure Oryou-sama is proud too.
Hey, my bar boy, we did it. You pulled it off. It was worth showing up every day.
Oh, wait, no. Every day that'd probably be like a younger character, wouldn't it? My supporters cheered me on. They were all glad that Satoko was finally safe. The sense of accomplishment of saving Satoko finally hit us, and we hugged each other, sharing praises for our struggle. Hell of an achievement. Be funny if upon saying that you get an achievement.